Welcome to the Diecast Showcase. This is the video series on Keystone Productions where I take the diecast out of their case and show them to you. And today we're going to be taking a look at Daniel Suarez 2021 iFly Chevy Camaro ZL1. What's going on YouTube? Eddie from Keystone Productions back for the first time in over 4 years with a brand new episode of the Diecast Showcase. Can you believe it's been that long since I did a Diecast Showcase video? I can hardly believe it myself. It is totally believable with how many videos I've made in the last 4 years, but I could hardly believe that it's been since 2017 that I've made one of these videos. But I'm very happy to be back making videos, and I figured what a better way to bring back the series than with another Daniel Suarez car. If you don't know, he is my favorite driver since Jeff Gordon retired, and ironically enough, he's the last drivers whose diecast I took a look at on the Diecast Showcase. But before we get into this real quick, I'm going to do a shameless plug. If you'd go follow me on my Instagram, you could see different sneak peeks and behind the scenes updates and stuff of what videos are in store and that sort of thing before I produce them, and whatever other random nonsense I decide to post on my Instagram. So feel free to take a look at that. It's the same handle as my YouTube channel, Keystone Prods PA. So feel free to go give that a follow if you have an Instagram, and you could stay up to date on what's going on behind the scenes between videos. So with that shameless plug out of the way, let's take a look at the box. We still have the driver's name down here and the team logo. And how about Trackhouse? Brand new team in NASCAR, and they did pretty alright, I have to say, for 2021. Would have nice to have seen them make the playoffs, but they had a really good run at the Bristol Dirt Race, and a lot of new sponsors, a lot of cool paint schemes, and overall, I can't really complain. So you had your 360 look at the box. Naturally, we have the usual informational sticker, the barcode, the NASCAR hologram, and the legalese on the bottom. That's enough of that nonsense. Let's take this out of the box. And here she is, and what a good looking car this is. As always, let's take a 360-degree look at the car to start out the video. I have to say, Trackhouse, even though they're a brand new team, they had a lot of phenomenal looking paint schemes on the track last year, and it looks like they're going to have quite as many good looking paint schemes on the track this year. I don't know if they just have a really good paint scheme designer or their sponsors that they've had allow them to do some really good looking cars, but I'm not complaining because they all really did look good. And speaking of good looking paint schemes, let's talk about this one. It's primarily a white base with a bunch of blue swooshes and that sort of thing, with some red and some light gray accents. So we'll start back here just because it's the easiest thing. We've got the white base all over the car. We've got a blue hood that kind of comes up onto the roof and swooshes off to the side to make room for the number. And along the side we've got one that comes just almost by the grille and comes up the fender, and that has a red border which comes out of that but then goes into bordering this swoosh. So really nice continuity and linking all the different paint scheme components. Also really appreciate how, since there's no more contingency sponsors here, they broke up this blue by adding some light blue spikes and swooshes. Looks really nice, both on the diecast and on track. We've got, I guess, the Trackhouse's take on the petty swoosh, I don't know. But we've got this swoosh here that comes up over the rear wheel. Got this one that goes through the wheel, and then this one that wraps up the quarter panel up to the C-pillar. And of course that one is also outlined with a little bit of red. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the really cool little touch here. The iFly logo looks pretty cool, I have to say. And also, I think that's where a lot of the inspiration came, because this shape here is pretty much what this shape is. But I really like how they blew up the little guy and made him a very light gray in the background to break up all of this white. Just these little touches of the little pops of color with the red, breaking up this blue, breaking up this white. I really have to hand it to whoever designed this paint scheme, because it's really what separates it from the rest of the other one. Where I cannot give credit though is to Lionel, the producers of this diecast, because this is how the car is supposed to look like. But when we get over here, you'll see that the decal they put on for the rear of the car just isn't on right. This red piece, that red ellipse is supposed to be centered, and obviously there's not supposed to be that white break. But if you ignore that, the rest of the diecast is pretty solid. Now, speaking of pretty solid things, also have to point out this detail on the number. If you notice on the box, the Trackhouse logo, how they angled the top of the T and made it spike down to create the cross of the H. I like how they kept that same design motif going with their number, and they also carry that through onto the 1 for Ross Chastain for this year. So that's a pretty cool little thing. It sets their numbers apart and is a really nice touch, I have to say. So let's take a look at the sponsors now. There's not a whole lot to go over on this car. We've got iFly on the hood, over the rear wheel. They're an indoor skydiving company, if you didn't know. There's not a whole lot here, as I alluded to earlier. In the 4 years since I've done a Diecast Showcase, a lot of the contingency sponsors vanished. So we only are left with K&N and Sunoco. And I wouldn't normally point them out, but because they're the only two we have, there you go. There's free publicity for those two companies. Over here on the B pillar, we've got the Chevrolet, Coca-Cola, CommScope, and Trackhouse logos again. CommScope down here at the base of the C pillar. And of course, Daniel Suarez name over the window with his really, really cool Mexican flag logo that he always has beside his name. Around the rest of the car, it's pretty much just all iFly. We've got it on the back, along with the Chevy Camaro ZL1 badging on the deck lid, and the roof is also iFly, and of course this side is all the same. So that's about it for this video. I have to say, a really nice car. Really love the paint scheme. Trackhouse the whole year has had a lot of really solid paint schemes, and so far they also have a really solid lineup of paint schemes for the upcoming season, and I'm really excited to see what all hits the track with the next gen car. So that about wraps up this video and my thoughts on Daniel Suarez 2021 iFly Chevy Camaro ZL1. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this video, or what you think of the diecast, and if this is the first time watching a Diecast Showcase, let me know what you think of this video. If you've never seen one of these before, pretty much what I do is I just take a diecast car out of my collection. I collect a lot of NASCAR diecasts, not so many of the new ones, but I have collected a lot of the older ones, which I'm very excited to show on the channel, but also a couple Hot Wheels and that sort of stuff. So if that's the sort of thing you're interested in, or if that's what you subscribed to the channel for many years ago, definitely stay tuned, stay subscribed, because there's a lot more of this where that came from. And also let me know what you think of the new video backdrop. Brand new video backdrop, both for this section of the video and the next section of the video, so let me know what you think on that. I'm pretty excited about the new video backgrounds and all the behind the scenes changes that I made to the channel to really amp up the quality of content I'm producing for you. So without further ado, let's put this car on the turntable. I used to call it the Diecast rotation station. Don't know if I should keep calling it that, so let me know in the comments down below what you think of that. But we're gonna go put it over there to wrap up the video. So thank you very much for watching. Eddie from Keystone Productions, and I hope to see you in the next video.